What up, what up? Thank you so much for checking out the second pop-up on the Kingship podcast. This is a special episode because, again, the internet has been wilding this week. So much shit has happened. Some good, some bad, some ridiculous. And we're gonna get right into it right here on the podcast. So we're gonna start off with some great news. Massive shout out to Butruz, the Shrap God. His 6 views to 8K mixtape clocked 200,000 streams on Boomplay, and I am proud. I'm so proud of this dude, man. You remember Hip Hop Culture, my show on Homeboys Radio, was there to help him with the launch in like October, November. And yes, I am very happy to see the success of that project. Butruz, keep doing what you do. What a joint bandwagon. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you as well. Somebody else that has had an incredible week, or who has been trending throughout the week. I mean, he always trends, but you know, this time he was trending again out of respect, I guess. And yeah, bow down bitches, is the one and only Calligraph Jones. He got featured on Cleaning the Airwaves, which is a segment on YouTube. It's an account on YouTube where this dude Issa, who used to be a gospel act back in the day, he gets like some of the legends in the game and he just gets into their backstory, you know, what they've been doing, what they've been up to, who they've been hanging out with as well. And Calligraph, his interview is in 13 parts. Some are an hour long, some 20 minutes, some 10 minutes, but he gets into that conversation about, you know, him getting into the game, how much hustle he put in. And honestly, when I watched that interview, it made me realize that what sets Cali apart from other rappers is his drive, his determination, his focus, and his discipline as well. You know, I used to wonder back in the day, because if you've watched like the Cooler Gang cypher, he's like fucking up the cypher with a lot of cats who are currently active in the game right now, but like they're not on Cali's level. And I always ask, like, what the fuck did Cali do to get to that point that these other rappers are not doing? And when you watch that interview, fam, listen, respect the motherfucking OGs, man. I got nothing but respect for Cali. It was a dope conversation that you absolutely need to check out. If you're feeling like a little low on motivation, that interview is really gonna help you. And I've seen like rappers come out here and be like, oh yeah, Cali, thank you for inspiring us. And it's like, fam, if your ass is lazy, you're not gonna get to Cali's level. You have to put in the hustle. You have to sell the tapes. You have to go out and meet people. You have to be hungry for it. You have to go out there and do shows, my nigga. Just thinking that you're talented and your talent is what is gonna make you blow up, that ain't the case. You know what they say, hard work beats talent. It's the norm. It is what it is, okay? So go and check out that Cleaning the Airwaves Calligraph interview. And tomorrow, on the main episode of the podcast, tomorrow Sunday, it's gonna be a conversation with Calligraph Jones that you're absolutely going to enjoy. So go ahead and favorite this podcast and check me out across social media platforms. You can find this podcast on Facebook, on YouTube as well. And yeah, just rock with me. Fuck with me. Now, some outrageous stuff has happened, of course. But before we get into that outrageous stuff, let's just circle back to the new music that has dropped this week. A bunch of people have dropped. I seen Barack Jacuzzi drop the video for Campaign, directed by Ivan O.D. There's Growth High Renaissance featuring Lord Arnold. This is Philosophy Records. The visuals are insane. Like, yo, listen, HR, he's definitely doing his thing, and I love it. I hope he puts in, you know, the muscle behind it to make sure that this pops off as well. We also have a new record from the one and only Steph Capella. Yo, this is one collab I didn't see happening at all. That collaboration with Steph Capella and Scam Cardinali, that is Wewe ni Nani. Oh, that's a record that I'm absolutely enjoying, man, and you need to go and check it out if you haven't just checked it out. And Steph is saying he's working on a little something. He's dropping something on 29th. I don't know what it is. I mean, I kind of know what it is, but like, I'm under oath to not say anything. So yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing until I guess he's ready to roll out. Kevin Grants as well has dropped a new single, like the first installment of his online series or of his mixtape. He's gonna be dropping a project sometime. This one I can give you the juice because this the homie, man. I can tell you whatever the fuck about Grants. So yeah, he's gonna be dropping a project called Midnight Love Thoughts, and the first record that he's dropped off that is Show You. You can check it out on YouTube, and he says that it's sad nigga hours in full effect. He was in his feelings. He's trying to shoot his shot. He's trying to get, you know, chase away the cold, get a quarantine partner. So yeah, you can go ahead and check out that track as well. Now, let's get into the outrageous shit that has happened this week. Now, there's this magazine that came out called Africa Hype. And when I was checking the stats, I actually saw that this list is from 8 months ago, and I don't understand why they would make a 2020 list 8 months ago. It makes absolutely no fucking sense to me, but more than it not making sense to me that they would make a 2020 list 8 months ago. The list is also like highly faulty, according to me. Calligraph Jones came in first. I mean, of course, granted, he deserves it. He's the OG Abbas Kubaf. Like, for real though, for real, dog. Listen, it's 2020. I'm not gonna say Abbas Kubaf is not a dope rapper. He's a dope rapper. He crawled so that other rappers can come through and talk shit on their records. But in 2020, like, when was the last time you actually heard an Abbas record? Like, Abbas has produced a record, not Wakadinali featuring Calligraph featuring Abbas. No, like an Abbas record that he put out. I don't know, man. And I have like a lot of respect for that dude. Like, yo, don't come at me and try to twist my words. Number 3, Nyashinsky dropped an amazing album, Lucky You. I'd agree with Nyashinsky featuring on this list. Number 4 was Issa. In 2020, we're still talking about Issa. Of course, he's another rapper that crawled so that other rappers could walk and fly. But in 2020, I don't think, this is such a fucking stretch putting Issa on that. Number 5 is Teo Tripper. 6, STL. Listen, again, when was the last time you heard an STL hip-hop record? Lately, she's been dropping pop records, and I'm not even shitting on her hustle. Like, everybody knows that STL can rap in Swedish and Swa, in English and Kikuyu, but lately, I think it would be quite unfair to put her on a 2020 list when there's other female rappers who've been pulling their weight and representing for the game while she's been on a hiatus, or while she's in her pop bag. Number 7 was Ecstatic. Of course, she deserves to be on this list. Social Experiment is such a fire project. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead and check it out. If you haven't listened to my first pop-up where I was reviewing the project, go ahead and listen to that as well. Miracle Baby, my nigga, I'm so tired. Like, I get to number 8 and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is Miracle Baby even a hip-hop artist in the first place? Is he a rapper? Like, I don't understand why all these other guys are like hip-hop acts, serious rap acts, and then we gotta slide in the Miracle Baby in there. Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it. Number 9, King Kaka. Of course, he's done his thing, did a very legendary live the other day. He dropped a project, he's been active, he's been pushing music. So yeah, King Kaka also deserves to be on that list. And number 10 is Steph Capella, who also definitely deserves to be on this list. But if we're talking 2020, as of May 16th, I probably put Steph in a top 20 and run it differently. Yeah. So that is the ranking according to Africa Hype, and this right here is the ranking according to the listeners of the Kingship Podcast. But before we get into what I drank or what some of the listeners of the Kingship Podcast came up as the final ranking of 2020, a clear depiction of what's happened so far between January 1st and May 20. Oh wait, what date are we at? May 16th. Yes, let's have some snippets from guys chiming in on this conversation. Here's a hip-hop enthusiast and a fan of Kenyan hip-hop and rap culture, Majestic Steve.
Wanna talk about the top 10 rappers in Kenya of 2020, a list made by Africa Hype. I have a problem with Miracle Baby, STL, Issa, Teo Tripper, and Abbas in that list. Abbas, Issa, those are legends, yes, we all know. But in 2020, I don't think so, because it has been a while since Abbas dropped anything. So I don't think in 2020 he's in the top 10. STL, I love STL, but she hasn't done anything. She hasn't put anything out yet. It's been a while, and the last time I heard from her, she was doing EDM and stuff. Yeah. Teo Tripper, I think Teo has a single verse in the last 2 years or so. The one on Spicy Season by Valerie Mozoni. I haven't heard him anywhere else. So yeah, maybe I would consider Okadinali. They've been doing really good. There's Boutros. He's been doing out. He's been dropping. Breeder. There's Silverstone, Beatty. those are people who have been really putting a lot of work there that I think should have been considered for the list. Yep.
And now making our way to the ladies, we got Pesh representing Adoveli podcast.
So regarding the article by African Hype on the top 10 best rappers in Kenya, top 20, I honestly feel that this article has come in way early into 2020. Jumwaka bado haijaisha. Other than that, the article is very much under research based on the names on the list. Na pia it's imbalanced kwa sababu out of 10 we only have like 2 females on it. So those are my thoughts. The only people deserving to be on this list are Steph Capella, Nyashinsky. King Kaka deserves to be on the list as well. Calligraph too deserves to be on the list. With that said, I still do feel that it's time we move from having Kina Calligraph, these big names on such articles, because about the hip-hop in Kenya has really shifted, and we have a lot of hip-hop artists in Kenya, so these articles should be reserved for all these other artists wenye wanafanya mziki, because we already know Calligraph Jones, we already know Nyashinsky, we know they're great, so we need to learn new things from such articles, we need to know new artists from such articles, and if we cannot do that, then why is there a point of having such an article in the first place? So in this list, mimi natoa karibu kila mtu from Miracle Baby, STR, Static, Issa, may he rest in peace, Tyrochiba pia, Abbas Kubaf pia, because they've not been active. And basing on the headline of the article top 10 best rappers in Kenya 2020, there are rappers who have been active in this year so far. Natuko mwezi wa May. There are people who have been consistent enough. Month to month, they're having music. There are people who have been that loyal to themselves and to their art as well. Just being consistent na kuonekana nje huku sana. So this list is very much premature. Where are the ladies kwanzia hapo? Where are the ladies? People are missing on this list, Because I believe so much in Kina Mandy, in Kina Valerie. I believe so much in them, Kina. Who else has been doing some work? I think Shiflo has also been doing some work, but still, this, as I said, this article imekuja way early into 2020, so always even make a conclusion. It's so early to start having such articles into the ear banner.
Also chiming in on this conversation, we got the one and only Jinx to participate.
Alright, well, I'm usually not mad at lists because it really just depends on your criteria, what are you basing your list off? Is it longevity? Are you looking at lyricism? Are you looking at hits? Are you looking at overall combined a couple elements? So, it all depends on what criteria you use. But the one thing that pisses me off about this particular list is having Issa at number 4, 5? It doesn't matter whatever criteria you want to look at. As far as Kenyan rappers, you can't put Issa below Teo and I don't know who the fuck else was on there, Kali. Feel me? I mean, Issa is one of the greats. Feel me? I feel like Abbas is also of that caliber. Nyashinsky, you can make an argument, but when you start putting Issa below Teo and Kali, I mean, fam, now you're just, it's kind of like clickbait. You're looking for a reaction. Some people can blame me for the same thing or accuse me of the same thing. I think that was the word I was looking for. With the top 50 we did, but the thing about that top 50, and I continue to say it, that list was released to have a conversation about including Gengetone artists as part of rap culture, not hip-hop but rap culture. And that was the purpose behind the list. And if this list has some kind of other purpose, some kind of discussion that it wants to bring up, then all good. But I'm not mad at the list. I like that SDL and Ecstatic are on there. I think those are some of the best MCs we've seen. I'm not mad that Miracle Baby is on there, because I'm a strong supporter of these Gengetone artists to be included in the rap conversation, because they are rapping. As much as they're not doing hip-hop, it is a form of rap, and we need to embrace our localized type of rap into the culture. So yeah, the only thing that I'd say is Issa should have been way higher on that list. Definitely higher than Teo and Kali. It doesn't matter what criteria you want to use. I mean, longevity you can't really say because his life was cut short. But other than longevity, he ticks every single other box you would like to check on a rapper.
The segment is called Streets is Talking, and as usual, you are welcome to participate. If you have anything to say that could feature on the podcast, how you reach me is at JustRubyV. If you have my WhatsApp number, you can always hit me up with your voice note for a feature on this particular podcast. All right, now let's get into it. Let's get into, what the listeners, this is fan voted, fan favorite, fan, everything, taking into account, the singles that you've dropped this year, the cultural impact, both online and offline. Maybe you dropped a project or not, that's also considered somewhere, live shows. Yeah, and just basically impact between January 1st and May 16th. So here's what the ranking, would look like if we did this, okay? So number 1 is Calligraph. 2, Nyashinsky. 3, King Kaka. 4, Acto Pizzo de. Number 5, Wakadinale. 6, Butrus. 7, Silverstone Bars. 8, Mandy. 9, Asam Garvey. And 10, the one and only motherfucking Ecstatic. Do you agree with this ranking or do you disagree with it? Remember, this ranking mirrors or is discrediting. I feel like discrediting is such a strong term. So I would say this ranking is a dispute. Yes, this ranking disputes what Africa Hype had ranked before. Do you agree with me? Or do you not? Hit me up at JustRubyV with your comments, thoughts, and your argument. And of course, we will be ready to talk. Let's agree to disagree. Yeah? Thank you so much for checking out the second pop-up of my podcast, the Kingship Podcast. I'm going to be back on Sunday tomorrow with the official episode at midday East African time, a conversation with the one and only Calligraph Jones. You do not want to miss that. And hit me up across all social media platforms at JustRubyV if you have any feedback. You can also get this particular podcast on my YouTube page, JustRubyV, and on my Facebook page, RubyV. So whatever tickles your fancy, fuck with me and make sure that you share with your friends if you do like this particular content, because I'm here to provide you sauce and also to have a conversation with you. Until next time, peace.